We are pleased to welcome Lenore Molee, who is Dean of the School of Professional Studies at Berkeley College. Good to see you, Lenore.
Good to see you.
Now, the School of Professional Studies has 4 diverse academic disciplines. Describe them.
That's correct. The first one I'll mention is the legal studies. That is a program that prepares individuals that are interested in the legal profession, whether it be as paralegals and legal assistants, or perhaps interested in going on to law school at one point. There is justice studies. Those are individuals, students that are interested in the justice system, and not only the criminal justice system, but the civil justice system as well. So we have those that are interested in perhaps law enforcement, as well as perhaps working in the social service agencies for governmental organizations, both federal, state, as well as county or municipal. Then we have 2 very different departments, one being graphic design.
Graphic design?
Yes, and the other one being interior design. So they're diverse disciplines, but yet they all have the same focus of preparing students for professional careers and in professions that are multifaceted. All of these professions are highly multifaceted and provide a lot of opportunities, later on.
Now, there's a new arena, there's a new area of study, a new discipline, if you will, national security.
That's correct.
Why?
Why? That's an interesting question.
What demand is there for a program in national security?
In New Jersey, there are many national security programs being offered. Berkeley has decided to offer this program, and it has been approved in New Jersey, as well as offerings online, to expose students to a different look at the justice system, particularly with respect to emergency preparedness, with respect to resilience, emergency resilience. We've had so many incidences, as you know, in New Jersey alone, where our governmental agencies, our private sector businesses have had to prepare to deal with emergencies. So the students will look at courses that were taken, take courses that will look at preparing infrastructure for those emergencies. We will talk about healthcare emergencies, such as the Ebola crisis that happened.
You'll bring it right into the classroom?
Hopefully we will have case studies, we will have professionals that have dealt with these issues. In fact, we are hosting on May 29th a National Security Forum at Hackensack University Medical Center, where we're bringing in professionals both in the public and private sector to discuss emergency resilience and preparedness with respect to the healthcare sector, and to talk about how these 2 segments dealing with these issues need to communicate. For lack of a better term, there was a lack of communication in dealing with some of the issues.
A lack of communication?
Yes, a lack of communication.
As someone who studied communications and continues to, I would argue, there was confusing communication.
There you go.
We're calling it a lack. How about people didn't know what the heck was going on?
Yeah. Well, that's what the panel will be speaking about. Okay. So we have 2 panels. One will be speaking about lessons learned. Okay. The other one was speaking about moving forward. So, whenever we study these issues, we look at what was done in the past and how to address them moving forward.
How'd you get interested in this whole thing? You've had a career in academia for a while. Obviously, you were at another university.
Yes.
For a few years.
Yes.
And you came over to Berkeley. Yeah. What caused you to go into academia?
Well, my background, I'm actually a lawyer. So
you admit that?
Yes. So I'm a lawyer, and after practicing for many years, I decided to give academia a try. We all learn from professors that we have gained much knowledge and respect. And having practiced law, I decided to go into an adjunct position and try it out. Well, many years later, I decided that clearly this was something that was right for me. This was the right move for me.
So you're teaching a course.
Yeah.
You say, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I've got the bug.
Yep.
And you said, I'm going all in.
That's it.
You leave law.
Yep.
You start teaching.
Yep.
You get into academic administration.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yeah. There was a point where I tried to do both, which is a very difficult thing to do, as you know. You know, I try to practice law and also teach at the same time.
Very
and I
tough.
was also the mom of 3 children.
Oh yeah, that too.
Add that to the mix. So what ended up happening was something had to give. And I do a lot of mentoring now with young faculty in academia. And I tell them, you know, at the beginning, you think academia is kind of going to be a part-time job, you know, and we'll do it on the side. But what happens is it takes over, and I think why, and that was your question, why, it really was the love for engagement. And I have enjoyed that engagement. And when you're an attorney, you engage too, but it's a different type of engagement. And I've enjoyed the engagement with this population. And so over the course of the many years, I've gone and taken that interest out into the community and doing work with service learning and community engagement and engaging my students now in the community.
Let's stay on that.
Yeah.
Because you've also told our producers that in terms of advising students, you've often said to them, do not get pigeonholed into one area.
Absolutely.
You've got to pursue your passion, and you've got to be flexible while you're studying different disciplines. Why?
Oh, so important. In this day and age, you never know, right?
Someone says, a freshman comes in and he or she says, that's what I want to do. You say?
Yeah. Well, I say, sure. If you really truly have a passion for something, then pursue it.
But how often does someone know? Do they know enough to know?
Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do. It depends on the discipline. If when they were in high school.
But in your area?
In my areas, well, I'll talk about design. I do find that the students that come into those 2 programs do have a passion. And they do have I'll call it a gift. They do have a gift. Some of us are artists, some of us aren't, you know, and so therefore some of them decide, you know, I have this passion of art, but I just don't know where to take it.
Would you like students to be flexible?
I think they should. I think they should be open-minded.
What does that mean? Give us an example real quick.
I just look at myself. I started out as a lawyer, right? So I'll use myself as an example with my students, right? I started out as a lawyer, and look, now I'm a professor, and now I'm an academic dean. So you have to keep an open mind, because you never know what a career path is going to open up for you. I think, you know, you would probably say the same, right?
Put it this way, my game plan as to what I was going to do and why or how I wound up sitting in this chair, if I weren't flexible,
there you go.
I wouldn't be in this chair right now.
So that's what college is all about.
Yep, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Lenore Molee, who is the Dean of the School of Professional Studies at the great Berkeley College. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Good stuff, good advice.
Thank you.
Stay with us, we'll be right back right after this. Thank you very much.
The preceding program has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence, and 13 for WNET, NJTV, and WHYY. Funding for this edition of Caucus New Jersey has been provided by TD Bank, United Water, Qualcare Inc., Cone Resnick, Fedway Associates, the Ohlendorf Center, and by Steve and Elaine Pozycki. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. Caucus New Jersey has been produced in partnership with TriStar Studios.